Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Well, do you remember the Jumper T-Lite, this radio right here? If you were in the FPV drone hobby, you definitely had one because it didn't cost very much. It had Hall effect gimbals on it, a speaker in it, metal switches, and the most important part was that you could attach an ELRS or crossfire transmitter to the rear. The radio was powered by one 18650 battery, and it kind of suffered because when you attached the transmitter to the rear, it sort of sucked the battery dry, so you didn't get a lot of time. However, that's been fixed with the new version 2. And that is what this video is all about, because Jumper has created two new versions of the T-Lite. One is ELRS, which I'm going to show you, and the other is a multi-protocol, as it was in the past. Let's take a quick look at what you get in the box. Opening the box, you can see the user manual followed by a set of stickers. There's also a rear module adapter just in case you want to add a crossfire unit or another ELRS unit. When you remove your T-Lite radio from the box, you will notice a set of warnings on yellow tags. These warnings are provided for people that are new to the RC hobby. You also receive a case to store your 18650 batteries, although no batteries are included. A USB-C cable is provided in case you want to use your controller as a connection to a simulator, or you want to charge up the batteries in the controller, or you want to connect your controller to your computer and access the data on the microSD card. And the final item included would be your antenna. Physically, the old version and the new version are pretty much the same. The real differences are what's on the inside. To power on the radio, you will need to provide one 18650 battery. Powering on the radio for the first time, you will see that it runs a version of Edge TX.
Welcome to Edge TX.
Joysticks remain Hall effect gimbal joysticks. I have the ELRS version of the Jumper T-Lite, therefore there is an ELRS module built into this radio. The maximum output power is 100 milliwatts. Now 100 milliwatts is perfectly fine for most FPV drone pilots, and if you do need more, I guess you'll have to just attach a module on the rear. Apparently the version of ELRS that is on this radio is the latest greatest version, version 3.0. So that means if you have ELRS version 2 or less on your drone, they are not compatible. You will need to downgrade this radio to something lower. Now all the screens you're used to in the big radios for your RC helicopter, RC FPV drone, RC plane, whatever you might have, are all included in this radio in this tiny little menu. Now one very important item I need to point out is that if you're new to radios, you may not realize that radios come with a micro SD card, and it's usually a very poor quality one. So when you get a radio like this, I suggest taking out the card, copying all the contents onto a good card, and then putting a good card in the radio. Here you can see, just like the previous version, there's metal switches, 2-way and 3-way switches, as well as a USB-C port and a trainer port. If you should plug a powered USB-C cable into the top, you're going to get a 3-menu item. So here we go. The first one is your joystick. If you want to play simulators, you would select that. Here's a fun fact. The USB controller I use for any simulators that I play is actually the T-Lite version 1. That's because it's so small, the battery lasts for a long time, so I can just keep it near my PC or Mac and use it whenever I like. Speaking of the battery, you can expect up to 6 hours of usage on a full charge. The second option in the menu is USB storage if you want to access the contents on the microSD card in your radio, and the third option is to do firmware updates. Total weight of the radio plus battery is 252 grams. Now the ELRS version of the radio can connect to ELRS, but it doesn't have a 4-in-1 chip. However, it does have a chip in it to connect to different types of receivers that are very common on the market. And this ends my review of the Jumper T-Lite. Now the takeaway is that it's the same radio as before. However, it's all updated. You still get those great Hall sensor gimbals. It's on Edge TX this time. You still have the 1.3 LCD screen. You have USB-C charging. You can get this as a 4-in-1 chip without the ELRS if you want. But I think the version I have here is going to be the most popular, which is the version with the ELRS built in. And you still can connect modules to the back like Crossfire or another ELRS module with even more power. So with all of that said, I hope you enjoyed this review. I'm going to place links below this video to the ELRS version as well as the 4-in-1 version. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate that very much, and I'll catch you in future videos with many more reviews. Till then, I say take care.